Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Overdrive Files. It's that day of the week where we just sit back and relax and answer some of your viewer submitted questions. And I know, I'm a day late here. I was a little under the weather over the weekend. You know, I had some congestion going on, you know, a sore throat and things like that. A little bit of a head cold. But I'm here now, and we're ready to talk some movies. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. Now let's get into some news. The big news that I wanted to talk about this week was that Arnold Schwarzenegger himself dropped that the upcoming Terminator movie is going to be in front of cameras this coming June. Now, I'm excited for this movie. I'm still a little bit hesitant. You know, I haven't really liked the last like 3 or 4 Terminator movies. Pretty much everything after the Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Everything after those two I think is pretty much garbage. But I'm excited for this movie, and I think Tim Miller did an absolutely fantastic job on Deadpool. And you know, I was kind of bummed that he wasn't going to be returning for Deadpool 2, but I think Deadpool 2 is going to be fine on its own. You have David Leitch in there, and obviously, of course, Ryan Reynolds. But this movie, this Terminator sequel, there's a couple of things that I don't want them to do. I don't even, like, Arnold's coming back for this movie. I don't want them to do the de-aging thing. And I'm not even sure if I want to even see, like, an old-ass T-800 version of Arnold. Like, we saw that in Terminator Genesis, where he's this, like, 70-year-old Terminator. You know, I wasn't really a fan of that, really. I liked the way they recreated that opening scene. I thought that was cool, but I don't know. I'm excited to see Linda Hamilton come back for this film. I think, you know, I haven't really seen her in anything for like a decade or two, but I don't know. I have a good feeling about this movie. I have faith in Tim Miller. You have James Cameron producing. He's probably been a producer on the last few ones, but I don't know. I just have a good feeling in my bones about this Terminator sequel. Did you see that Lucasfilm and Disney ripped off those Han Solo posters? Yeah, I did see that. And you know, sometimes with movie posters, there'll be things that there's not much you can do with a movie poster. And not that these are really movie posters, they're just kind of like individual character posters, I guess, but these are like legitimate rip-offs, and it's even down to like the color scheme of the things. Like, even it's one thing to just have this like hollow text with the character like in the background, but even down to the color scheme, and even just the like the old-fashioned like vintage texture of like the brown paper kind of background that they have, it's even down to that. And I think Disney or Lucasfilm released a statement that they're looking into it, and that's the thing with this stuff, is it's not necessarily, and we don't know this for sure, but like a lot of this stuff is sort of outsourced to like a third party like marketing department. And we don't know if that's the case with Disney and Lucasfilm, but that probably is the case. And I think these original posters were done by like a French graphic designer, and I think he was commissioned by Sony or something like that. So we don't even know if maybe Lucasfilm contacted Sony to get permission to, or get the rights to borrow imagery from this. So there's a lot of factors, but just looking at it clear as day, just from what we know now, I mean, it just looks like a copycat, you know, a ripoff. And I like them, but I don't think that it really gives them, you know, it just feels a little bit grimy to me without really knowing the facts. I mean, you'd hope that Disney and Lucasfilm wouldn't ever try to do something like that, but who knows? Maybe they absolutely had no idea that this was actually going on. Maybe some guy just decided to say, screw it, I don't feel like coming up with the design today. I'm just gonna borrow from this thing. Do you think Black Panther will end up outgrossing Captain America Civil War at the box office? I really think there's a good chance. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I don't know if it's gonna outgross Captain America Civil War. It's gonna be close. I looked today at the box office report where Black Panther's at, and I think it just crossed $900 million worldwide, just over $500 million domestic, which I think it just crossed, or it just beat Beauty and the Beast. So I think Black Panther's like number 9 total for domestic box office of all time with like $509 million, something like that. And I think Beauty and the Beast is just a couple $1,000,000 less than that. So yeah, it's already cracked the top 10 for domestic, and you know, it's churning in some dough, that's for sure. And you know, Civil War, it made like it made like almost $1.2 billion. And Black Panther, you know, it still has like $200 million to go and some change to meet Captain America Civil War. There's a few movies, some big movies that are coming out in the next couple of weeks, and I think we're gonna start seeing Black Panther really start to slow down in terms of box office, but I think it has a chance. I will not be surprised if it beats Captain America Civil War at the box office. But isn't that just so crazy to think about? You have Captain America Civil War, which is essentially like Avengers 2.5. Like that movie is just cram-packed full of like stars, and it's one of those movies that is just so massive in terms of like spectacle. And you know, it's one of those pinnacle Marvel movies. And then you have Black Panther, excuse me, where it's just sort of this unknown character, but he's become this like phenomenon at the box office, and just a cultural impact too. But man, that's just so crazy that it's really coming in hot on Captain America's Civil War, like total box office. I think that's awesome. What are your thoughts on Zachary Levi's Shazam costume after that set leak photo? Yeah, this has sort of been kind of a divided thing, right? So, and that's the thing with set photos or set photo leaks, is that we're not seeing them in context of really the scene, and even in the camera of what they're being like, of the scene that's being filmed. Like a few weeks ago or a month or two, we saw Brie Larson with a set photo of her in her Captain Marvel outfit. It was like green and leather, and it didn't really look right. And I don't know if that's going to be the final outfit in the film. I really doubt that, especially that it's green. You know, that character's more of like a blue, golden, red kind of outfit. But as far as what we saw in this Shazam set photo, you know, it's really hard to tell on just like a shitty iPhone camera. That's like this dude creeping in the corner in like a mall trying to like freaking get a shot off of this guy in a spandex outfit. And you know, like you're only able to see like the backside of the guy. And there was one that came out like last week, I think, and it's like him with, maybe it was just a couple days ago, with a front-on photo, and you got to see the lightning bolt emblem on the front of him, and I thought that looked way better. And I kind of like that it's sort of embracing the cheesy like superhero aspect, because Shazam's a character where this boy, this like teenager, gets the ability to transform into like a superhero god just by saying the words Shazam. And even though he turns into this like hulking like guy with superpowers, he's still a child at heart, and in his mind he's a child. And I think Zachary Levi is going to be able to really deliver on that element. And I don't know, I kind of like the idea of this like outfit, and you know, just the mentality of this character being a little bit cheesy and a little bit childlike. So I like that. And there's actually a little video that came out today. I think I just watched it before I'm shooting this, where he's like, they're shooting this scene where he's like saving a bunch of people on a bus, and you don't really get to see too much of his outfit. It's kind of far away, but I just think it's gonna be cool. And you need to think about it that you're not seeing it within like the aspect of the camera. You're seeing it out of context sort of, and you know, there's obviously like color grading and you know, all of that stuff to go in, so you got to keep that in mind. Avengers Infinity War is now moved up a week earlier into April. Do you think this is a good move? I actually do think this is a good move, and as much as I wanted May to be just this like jam-packed month full of movies with, you're gonna have Infinity War, Deadpool 2, and Solo coming out later that month too, but I just think this is better overall for May. I mean, as much as like, how cool would that be for like every 2 weeks to go see just one of these like massive movies? But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, that's not the best for those movies. With it moving up earlier, that gives more room for Infinity War to earn at the box office, and especially Deadpool 2. I mean, these are movies that are going to be directly competing with each other. The same people are going to be going out to see these movies with Infinity War and Deadpool 2. And it also gives Solo a Star Wars story. Man, I hate saying Solo a Star Wars story. The Han Solo, I just much rather prefer to say the Han Solo movie. That gives it some more breathing room. I don't think it was necessarily a move to kind of give that Han Solo movie more room to breathe. I don't think that at all. I'm actually kind of reading that so far there's some buzz with people who have seen the movie, or you know, some parts of the movie. I think it's shaping up to be a pretty solid film, and I think not Jumanji, Rampage actually moved up a week earlier into April too. So there's just been this whole kind of like chess piece game going on, and yeah, I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's a pretty good move.
It's now time for the suggestion of the week.
My suggestion for you guys this week is Good Time. I recently watched this on my Amazon Prime account. Man, this movie was good. I wanted to see this past fall, but I just never got around to seeing it, and this was absolutely phenomenal. It's a really small, kind of like gritty story about this guy just trying to like break his you know, his brother has a disability and he gets thrown in prison, and he's just trying to get him out, like earn money for bail, not doing necessarily trying to get money the right way, but he's just an older brother trying to get his younger brother out, and I just thought it was absolutely phenomenal. It's very like gritty. There's some really good acting in this film, and it's one of those movies that it's not necessarily a good time. It's very like emotional and sort of like depressing, like what this guy's going through, having to, you know, to get bail money to not bust his brother out, but just to get his brother out of prison. And I just thought this movie was absolutely fantastic. So if you have an Amazon Prime account, really, I recommend it. Check this movie out. I think you'll enjoy it. But guys, that's it for this episode of the Overdrive Files. If you have a topic or question, submit it down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rex Overdrive. I'll see you next time.